justice.
Last Monday was a day that animal lovers across Fiji united to fight a case of animal cruelty.
Find out how a series of Facebook posts helped rescue 2 abused dogs. We speak with Reynald, the brave onlooker that alerted authorities, and the SPCA on their tireless efforts to save the dogs.
It's time to find out more about the laws that are here to protect our animal friends. The Railway dog abuse case. If you haven't already heard about it, you will tonight. We will bring you the details about the case and how the Pet Project was involved and how we brought justice to 2 neglected dogs. Before that, we do have to complete our visit to Animals Fiji. So let's backtrack and let's finish off our visit there, and we'll find out some more things about Animals Fiji, including their surrender and adoption processes.
Last week, we promised to give you an update on if this old girl's surgery was a success. She needed to get a lump removed.
That is it. That is the lump that got removed. There you go. That's the incision site. And that was the bit that was removed. Okay. And there was just intradermal switches, so you can't really see the stitches or anything, and it'll dissolve on its own. That's about it.
You were telling me an interesting story about adoption, and while we encourage everyone to come and adopt and not to buy from breeders or anything like that, people think that they have a, well,
Right.
right.
Yeah, so a couple things is that one, there is no licensed breeding in Fiji. So anyone that's breeding is what we call backyard breeders. So there is
Right.
no one here in Fiji that has a license.
Yeah.
But there is no system for licensing for breeding.
Yeah.
So not to say they actually know what they're doing. And then 2, pet ownership in general. We're having pets, horses, cattle, goats is not a right as a human being. We don't have we're not born and say that we're given the right to have a dog. It's actually a privilege.
Yeah.
And these beautiful creatures, sometimes wrongly so, are obsessed with us humans.
Yeah.
They have millennia of adapting. They can read our facial expressions better than we can read each other's. And so I always say that it's not a right to be a pet owner. It's a privilege.
It's a privilege.
So I hope that gets passed on to the public. And I know there's a huge portion of Fiji that really does treat their pets as privileged guests in their home or family members.
Yeah, as family members. But then at the same time, there are people that don't. They just see them as another animal. But
Yeah.
they're so much more than just a dog, or just a cat, or just an animal, just a pig, or something like that. It's so much more than
They're
that.
super intelligent too.
Yeah.
So I was saying before that my own personal dog has never been trained to be a guard dog, but will defend my family's life. till
Defend
the
your
day.
honor.
Yeah. And these guys will be the same. If you were loyal to them, they'll be super
they're
loyal to you.
Something I was telling one of my production crew is you could murder someone in the daytime, go home in the afternoon to your dog, and they will love you like no one has ever loved you, and they'll still wag their tails and treat you the same,
And those of us that are married, coming home to maybe a possibly grumpy husband or wife, they're never grumpy. They're always happy to see you with no judgment.
No judgment at all. I think they're better than a husband or wife.
There's more and more research coming out now of think tanks all over the world that people who have pets, like even cats or dogs, they're actually reducing their chance of heart disease, or they exercise more. So there's a lot of health benefits in having pets that don't necessarily do anything. But yeah,
and even there's studies of how young kids, they have stronger immune systems, though when they live with pets or they grow up with pets, and they tend to be more social and have better social skills because they have a sense of empathy and all these good moral values instilled in them from a very young age. And just to be able to understand and communicate with a voiceless being like dogs and cats is such an important skill. I feel just to be able to see through their behaviors of what they're expressing, and then to just have that skill and then express that in a normal social settings, like to be able to identify when a person is sad or just through their behavior is, I think, a very important skill that they can learn from animals.
Okay, so I'm here now with Rashan, who is a senior vet assistant and kennel hand, and Rashan's been working at Animals Fiji for more than 3 years now. I wanted to talk to you because, like the little ones we're holding in our hands, people dump animals all the time at shelters. They'll just know that because there's an animal shelter, I'm just gonna go and dump a box of puppies or kittens and just let them handle it. It's not my problem anymore. I mean, I know that you guys have limited spaces. You're trying to take care of animals, all the animals as much as you can. But what do you suggest? What advice do you have for people that want to surrender their, take the problem off of their hands and put it on yours? What sort of thing do you have for that?
So we have 4 options for surrendering their animals to our Animals Fiji clinic.
Yeah.
So the first option is if they have a bunch of cats or dogs or puppies or kittens. So
Yeah.
first option is if we are full, could you able to keep them for a week or 2 weeks till we have a space?
Yeah.
Then the second option is if they can find another home for them, their friends and family, who can keep them for rest of their life and get them desexed.
Yeah.
And our third option, if they can find another shelter place, if they're gonna have a space and they can surrender. And the fourth option is if they surrendered, they still don't wanna give them away or something. So our last option is we're gonna send them to the heaven. So to everyone who have dogs or cats, are female or either it's a male, they should always get them desexed so they don't have more full babies, and it's very hard for find them rehome.
Yeah. If you don't want to have more babies to look after, then please get the parents desexed. Yeah?
That's the best option to get them desexed. It doesn't take much to keep a pet. It just all they need is love and care and food. And so it's like the food we give to our all full babies here is 75% of meat and 25% of rice. And early morning, all the babies, the dogs, they get biscuit, and the puppies, they get puppy biscuit, and the cats, they get whiskas for the breakfast. And the lunch and the dinner is meat dish and the rice.
Oh wow! So that's quite simple. I think it is.
Yeah.
You can all look after your pets quite
It
easily.
doesn't cost much to look after them. All they need is a love and a care and a good house and a shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell me about your car. You've mentioned your vehicle. We'll go and have a look at it in a bit. But that's so cool.
So my car bonnets, all my full babies are there. Yeah.
Rashan's pets are all on the car bonnet, and there's paw prints on the sides, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible. When I had my old car, I had paw prints. 7 paw prints for the 7 years that my boy was with me.
Yeah.
On the side of the car. I love people like you.
We asked Casey and Dr. Ashutosh how the community could make a difference and what ways we could help them.
I would say for obviously watching a program like this in the first place, having a program like this in the first place is a huge leap forward. Obviously the Pet Project, and we'll keep watching every week so you guys can continue to learn more. But also just seek knowledge. If you don't know, ask. Use resources that we have or SPCA or other organizations have, and please come out and chat to us or ask. There is no silly question. Come out and ask or message us or email us. Or if you're not sure about something with your pet, you can contact us and come and see the vet.
Yeah. Of course, population control, I guess, would be the biggest issue we are facing in Fiji. We being a small island, take example Netherlands, they had this huge 10-year plan where they spayed and neutered the animals, and this year itself was announced as the only country with zero stray population. Which is a big thing for a country much larger than us.
But it took 10 years to get there, and they planned.
Yeah, and us being an island nation, I don't see why we shouldn't be able to achieve that.
And we should be able to achieve that in a shorter amount of time as well.
If we come together and if we get owners to understand why it's so important to desex the animals, not just the females, also the males.
And not just their own pets, but their neighbors' pets or the strays on their street, and everyone just chip in.
And just a bit of help, it'll go a long way. And soon we'll be having a much, I think, better quality of life for all the animals in Fiji.
And humans.
And humans.
And humans, yeah. I like.
Yeah.
So obviously there's various ways that people can assist. So if people, one, like Dr. Ashutosh just mentioned, if you can help your neighbor or your family member or your friend by providing transport for them or providing, our contact details to come and seek our services, especially desexing, that would be one way. And that's doing your part. Or maybe take charge of your street and check with everyone on your street that your animal's desexed. I guarantee you'll sleep better. Two, if you want to come and visit and see what we do and just educate yourself a little bit, then that's also helping us. But obviously the other things would be donations of either your time, monetary, or things. So we can always use extra help with walking our shelter animals or with an outreach clinic. So with our outreach clinics, we're always looking for volunteers to put up their hands and organize a desexing clinic for your neighborhood or your village or your settlement. And then you can always donate in kind. We always can use rice or tin fish or mops and brooms. That stuff's all listed on our website at animalsfiji.org. Or if you want to make a monetary donation, even if it's just $5 or $1, that is greatly appreciated, and you can do that. Our bank details are on our website, or you can donate on our website, or you can come and visit us and see where your money's going, which is all to the animals.
Definitely.
Coming up.
You feed my dog? No. Then go back. That's all. This is my dog. I bought that dog for $2,400 from my money.
The dog abuse case that made headlines.
When I actually entered the house, I saw the dog being kicked off the top story, coming down, falling, and then continuously being beaten with a 2x2 stick.
My dog's been hungry here for 4 weeks. Ask Fiji TV if they can come and feed my dog now. They came in the morning. No, I understand.
Part of our show, what we wanted to do was to bring cruelty to light. We wanted to expose people in situations where animals were being beaten up or whatever form of cruelty they were enduring. We just wanted to create awareness around it and get people to start speaking up. And we are so grateful that this situation came to light. Raynal Singh is the guy that made all this possible. So last week Monday at around 10 in the morning, there was a post made to Facebook, a Facebook group called Pets Fiji. And I'm not a part of that group, and neither are any of our crew from the Pet Project. So the post had already gone up, and I think at around about 11:30 is when someone had actually tagged the Pet Project along with all the other animal welfare organizations in the country. And they had tagged us in a comment to see if we could see the post and do something about it. So our team saw the post and they said, "Oh, what's going on here? This sounds a bit serious." So I actually got in touch with Raynal, and we spoke on the phone, and he was frantically telling me about what had just happened because it was still quite fresh. And so at around 12:30, I decided with my team that we would go as a Pet Project to find out what was happening, to talk to the guy and see if we could actually get the animal to safety. So we made our way there. I was calling out to this guy for a long time. He did come out eventually, and even then he was being very defensive about it. He kept telling me that they were his dogs and his children and he could do whatever he wanted to them. Basically what happened, we went there, we spoke to him, we didn't get anything out of him, and I told him we'll be back with the SPCA and the police. Ministry of Agriculture was very prompt to respond, and the police came and the SPCA came, and everyone just sort of rocked up to this guy's house to find out what was going on, and he just wouldn't let anyone in. Then there became a warrant situation, and so no one could really enter his property. So SPCA, the police, and Ministry of Agriculture left to go and sort out the warrant situation, and I was really worried. My crew and I were really worried that he would try and hurt the dogs again. So we actually stayed back. We staked out the place for a good 3 to 4 hours just to keep an eye on the house and the dogs and make sure they were okay. So come the afternoon, we were making calls to the police commissioner, the deputy police commissioner, any and every one we could think of. We were keeping people updated on social media. All the other media organizations had turned up as well to try and get the story. And there was a lot of, the story had gained a lot of social media traction. So Monday, nothing happened. The dogs were still in his property. We were told that he has 4 dogs. We only saw 3. At the location, and one of them was really badly injured. So the Pet Project finally caught up with Reynal, the brave person that made the original complaint, and made sure that something was done about it. Let's hear from him.
Meet Reynal, a 27-year-old business owner of Zion Auto Shop and Towing Services. Going about his normal Monday routine, little did he know that this day would be like no other. It became a day that started a movement in Fiji.
I came back home from work just to pick up something, and I heard this dog crying. So if you guys have seen the house, when I actually looked at the house, I saw the dog being kicked off the top story, coming down, falling, and then continuously being beaten with a 2x2 stick. So I was looking around. I also saw other people looking at what was actually happening, and no one was stopping him, no one was doing anything about it. So me and my staff, we went over to his place. We drove over there, and we asked him, "Hey, what are you actually doing?" And he told me that he's beating up his dog because the dog took a dump inside his house. So which is totally crazy, absolutely. So after that, when he was actually confronted, and I told him that he should not be doing something like that, what he started doing was he started swearing at me, telling me it's not my business. So just like, when he said that statement, he actually got me thinking at that particular time that, am I doing the right thing or not? Like, what grounds do I hold on telling him that he's not allowed to be beating up his dog or anything, right? Because I don't know if you have been through a similar situation like this, but usually when something like this were to happen, people don't really, they really don't value animals, not locally, they don't. So what actually, I was thinking about it, and I told him that I'll be taking this to, I'll be taking a next step for this, what he is actually doing. And he actually turns around and he threatens me to do whatever you want to do, So I came back home, trying to call SPCA, but got no response from them. I was trying for some time, and I called one of my friends at Vet Essentials, and he gave me an emergency number for SPCA. I was calling that as well. Didn't get through. I called the police force here at the Rawang police station, and they did come, but as you might have heard, what actually happened is they basically were not familiar with what grounds they were coming with, what authority they carry at that particular point of telling a human not to be beating up particular animals. So they were not familiar with it. So after that happened, the beating continued after the police left. He started throwing at my household again. Abusing them verbally, and once everyone at home and I was left at home, he saw me. He picked that stick up again, and he went to beat up the dog again. So that actually got me to a point of thinking of the what have I actually started? The actions? Is this the consequences of the actions that I have actually taken? Because the authorities, they did not pull in, when I needed them to. Because of that, the dog got beaten up the second time around again. So, that was quite unfair, actually, if you think about it. And that particular dog, Rusty, should not have suffered that way just because of, because of us. So I was really thinking about it, and then, I put it on social media, and that's the time you came through, Pet Fiji came through, and, you guys were the first one on the scene. You came on and had a look at the house, and then you started recording him. And then you first and saw his response, and he was telling you, he was threatening people as well of what he will do to you. And then he started, once you people left, he started staring at me again, and he went to beat up the dog the third time again. So within the day, beating up the dog 3 times with a 2x2. if I were to beat up somebody with a 2x2, what would happen to that particular person? So what do you think was happening to that dog, Rusty, at that particular time? You know, he was beaten up so badly. You know, the poor guy could not walk anymore. You know, he was just crawling. I saw him crawling, trying to hide from this guy, and he was ruthless. You know, he's still yelling at me from there that this is my dog. I can do whatever I want with this dog. You know, so Monday finished off with absolutely we accomplished nothing. And then Tuesday came along. You know, the police was still trying to look for a warrant to get to this guy. And you know, this was being put on media that you know there's a warrant and they were trying to get this guy. Tuesday ended with no success because this guy was out of sight. He was not around, not showing his face. You know, during the whole day, like I was receiving messages from his family members, friends, like you know, telling me that I won't get away with what I'm doing, and I don't understand what were the threats for. I really don't, because you know, what I'm actually trying to do is I'm just trying to save a dog.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm trying to do. I don't have any personal grudges against that guy. I have nothing to do with it.
Coming up,
Rusty was not able to walk. He was limping. He could not even touch his leg because he was in so much pain. So
the team managed to retrieve 2 of the dogs.
This is the 4th week going. My dogs have no food to eat. Did any one of these feed my dog? Ask them.
Now, the SPCA deal with cases like this all the time. The thing is that it doesn't make it to social media, so a lot of people don't know about it, except this one. This one made it out, and that's why it became such a big deal. It was in the media, and everyone, you know, just jumped on it. So that's why we heard about this one, because it came from someone other than the SPCA. But they do deal with these cases all the time. Some are worse, some are not as bad. And usually people, the abusers are more cooperative than the guy that we had just dealt with. And so we spoke with Chanel, who is a vet and clinic manager and a representative of the SPCA. And you know, he told us the story from his side of things. He also tells us an update on how the dogs are doing.
The team managed to retrieve 2 of the dogs. One was the one which actually got a beating from the owner, and there was another small dog. When we actually visited the premises, we found both the dogs not in really good conditions, so we decided to take both of them in. Our veterinary team has taken a look at them, and they're actually under veterinary observation at the moment. We have done a medical on both the animals, and the reports have been passed on to the Fiji Police for any further actions to be taken.
Dogs are very loyal. They will do whatever it takes. If you are good to them, they will be good to you. You know, I have 2 dogs. They're very loyal to me. You know, I have 2 dogs over here. There's 2 dogs at my grandmother's house. You know, they are very loyal. However you take care of them, they will take care of you as well. You know, but what happens, like, if you're eating there and you have not fed your dog for 2 days, 2 to 3 days, and you know the dog is staring at you, and you are trying to tell the dog to go away again, what sort of a human are you? It actually brings back to the education system of what are we actually teaching our kids? Are we only teaching them that you need to grow up to become teachers, doctors, police officer or whatever? But how about animals? Do we actually educate them enough of how they should be treating animals? So maybe this coming year, like when schools are planning out their school trips, or if the SPCA could get along with the Ministry for Education and plan out something where animals could either go to schools to educate the children, or if the children could go down to SPCA for random visits to know what SPCA is all about, how we could help out animals, what animals need, how they are supposed to be taken care of. So just basically the facts of our animals. So I mean I'm pretty sure if we were to teach our young kids on these these very important little factors, they'll grow up to be the better generation for tomorrow. Yeah.
It was a good case, I would say.
Yeah.
Basically put education out there for people. A lot of people they actually didn't know what to do with similar cases. We had before 2 people calling us in frustrated on whom to approach with these cases.
Yeah.
They were not even sure that they should approach SPCA,
Right.
should they make a complaint with Fiji Police, should they complain to Ministry of Agriculture, or whom should they go to. So basically this case has like created a lot of education and awareness out there as well. People now actually know that you can actually launch a complaint with like Fiji Police. You get any of the stations near you, you can launch a complaint with them. Even I would say the Fiji Police team were not really aware how to handle these cases because they haven't handled something like this before. So now their team is also more confident, like to take complaints on and then pass it on to us and then work together to handle further cases.
Yeah.
Also, if people would like to complain in the future, they can make a complaint with the SPCA. You just need to call our team and provide the details, and they'll look into it. And you don't have to relieve any details or anything. We also encourage people just before these incidents.
Yeah.
We posted something on our social media that if you see these kind of cases, some of the cases people can actually resolve it with their neighbors themselves. It's basically education and awareness. Like sometimes you'll see people not giving water to their dogs, just giving it once a day. They don't know. We should leave a water bowl there for them for the whole day because it's hot season or something. So basic stuff. If people can talk to their neighbors, if someone is chaining their dog outside in the rain, people can also talk to their neighbors about that. But if it's extreme cases, or if your neighbors are not listening, or if you find an animal stuck somewhere, or someone is throwing hot water, hitting the animal, or tying, chaining, or anything, they can contact our office or any of the animal shelters around Fiji, and they will look into it.
Don't hurt animals. If you take care of animals, they will take care of you. They are very loyal. They are God's creations. We are placed on this earth to take care of them. So, let's try and fulfill what God has actually given to us. It's been passed on through generations. We are nobody to hurt them. If we can't feed them, that does not put us in any position to hurt them. If needs be, if there is something left over, you could feed them, just please do so. Just put it outside your compound. Definitely a dog or a cat or something will come and eat it. With all these sort of small gestures that we are doing for animals, it's going to lead up to something greater for us one day.
Next week, we find out more about the animal protection laws of our country.
It's very simple. You can make a difference by being kind to animals.